grows strangely. Oh, shalom. Oh, are you here for a gathering? A counting of sorts? A census? No? Or perhaps you don't know what a census is. For in my time, we had a census. It was a requirement. The emperor required all to be counted. For taxes, of course. But counted, and that meant that everyone went back to their birth city to be counted and to be applied. Oh, it was such a time. Let me tell you about that time because it was just as though it were yesterday in my memory. Well, first let me tell you that I am the wife of Eli. You would know Eli as, you say, an innkeeper? Yes, well, perhaps the translation from my language and yours went a bit awry. Eli was not an innkeeper. Oh, it's not that he couldn't be. He was very hospitable and just lovely right down to the core, but innkeeper, no. No. We were just another family who practiced Jewish hospitality, especially in this time of travel. For some that were innkeepers, they would often say, "Merry census." But for others, not so much. This time was not merry. And so as the days went and people came and went, it was just chaos and bedlam and fear and weariness. I would often hear Eli day after day, Hannah, more food, Hannah. Hannah, would you go get more water from the well for the second time today? Hannah, we will need some new bed linens. Hannah. Oh. Now, it wasn't that Eli was abusive. He really wasn't. He was a good man. He was a kind man. After all, he put up with me for all those years, and I was not easy to live with. But as people came and people went, our home was filled. And we were one of those exception of the homes in Bethlehem that although we were just a simple home with a gathering space where we cooked and we ate and we slept and we lived, we did have a tiny upper loft guest room. And so it was that guest room that Eli felt compelled to have relatives, sojourners, foreigners, and aliens as they knocked on our door and as they heard, "You have a guest room," that we found ourselves full. Even our living space was crowded with young ones sleeping on bedrolls on the floor. And so it was this one night that everyone was bedded down and it was quiet early in the evening that Eli and I felt that we had a moment, just a moment to breathe. You know this feeling, do you not? Perhaps today you're just breathing and taking that moment. And we put our feet up and we sat by the table and there was knocking at the door. That happens, doesn't it? You just get that moment of peace and quiet, and then someone needs you. Someone wants you. Someone's at your door. Oh, might I confess to you that we ignored the knocking? We ignored the knocking, thinking that perhaps it was a local merchant that was just peddling the rest of his root vegetables before he retired to his home and his family. But the knocking persisted. It was desperate knocking, hard knocking, knocking to not be ignored. And so it was my duty to go and to answer this knocking. And so I steeled myself with words that I would open the door and I would say, "Whatever it is that you need, we just have nothing else to give. We have given it out. And so whatever you need, we cannot help you. We have nothing for you." But as I slid the bolt of the door and I opened the door, what met me took my breath away. For there in front of me were eyes that spoke desperation, but determination. Eyes that spoke need, but eyes that spoke hope. Eyes that stilled me to absolute silence. And then those eyes gave way to a voice, and I heard this voice say, "May Yahweh have mercy on you." Yahweh have mercy on me? I thought, you are standing on the wrong side of the door. I am not in need of mercy. You are. And then the voice continued, "May you be blessed. May Yahweh bless you for giving us hospitality and the gift of respite." I knew this man. And as I looked at the woman beside him, full with child, I knew her as well. This was Joseph. And I knew this to be Mary because I had heard the whispering and the rumors that flooded through our town of Bethlehem. Oh, I knew these people. And then he said, "Are you not of the house of David? For Eli, your husband, is a distant cousin, and you are commanded by the Mosaic law to allow us to come and to be comforted, to give us hospitality. How dare he?" Oh, the feelings in my soul bubbled up against my very wish. How dare he tell me about hospitality? When my memories overcame me, and I remembered a time when I needed hospitality, where the law did not save me, did not comfort me, when only the fields and the caves were my comfort. How dare he tell me that I was to give him and this pregnant woman beside him hospitality? And before I could say much more, Eli, my sojourner of faith and hope, was beside me, curious as to what was keeping me at the door. "Hannah, what is the need?" Eli asked. And my eyes searched for Eli's. I searched longingly for him to read my eyes, and then deep down in my heart, "Eli, make them go away. I don't want them here, Eli. They're bringing up so much brokenness from my past that I thought I had pushed down in the remote spaces of my soul." "Eli, they're just leaving. I told them we don't have room." But Eli, being Eli, would not hear of it. Oh, I know, you thought I was the one that convinced Eli to have them come in. I was not. That would be Eli. And it would also be Eli that did not want future generations to think ill of me. It was Eli who put his arm protectively around my shoulder and read the deep pain in my heart and my soul, these memories of dank, lonesome, hurtful times that I could not push away anymore, and my body trembled at the memory of them. And he squeezed my shoulders, and he spoke to me words more unspoken than spoken. Do you not agree that sometimes those who say much have little to say, and those who say little say so much? "Hannah," Eli said to me, "Hannah, we must find a way." I shrunk from the door, and Eli addressed Joseph and said, "Joseph, it is true. What she says is true. We don't have room. The guest room is full, and our living quarters are full as well. I wish it were so, Joseph, that we could give you this hospitality of our home. But there has to be a way. And then Eli said, Joseph, we have a stable just below our living quarters. It's the place in which we bring our animals in to be protected and then to warm the floor upon which we sleep. I will offer you protection and food. And if you would accept this simple gesture of humble hospitality, I will clean the stall. And you and Mary, you will find warmth and comfort and peace. Oh, as Eli gathered up linens and food and the necessary supplies and took them and readied the space, I backed up. I just went to my bedroll in the corner of our living quarters, and I longed to smell the scent of something familiar, of peace and of comfort. I longed for Eli to join me, to wrap his arms around me and to make me feel secure, to push those memories of brokenness and barrenness back down where I longed them to be. But even Eli's peaceful snoring did not give me what I had hoped for. It was in the middle of the night that I was awoken by cries, virgin cries, cries and whimpers of childbirth. I longed to stuff my ears that I would not hear, but I could not help but respond. This young girl needed a woman by her side, not animals. This woman needed a mother for Yahweh's sake. And so, against my very will, I arose from my bed and I gathered up linens and some old stale bread from yesterday's meal. And I went to the stall, knowing that perhaps I would receive the look of anger and indignation, rightfully so, from Joseph. And yet, when I slid the bolt and opened the stall of this stable, the eyes that met me were eyes of understanding, eyes of appreciation. Joseph led me over to the corner where Mary was, as though he was expecting me to come all the time. He just silently led me over, and then he bent down to Mary, and he said, Mary, your helpmate is here. The rest of the night, it was a blur. I found that my hands and my words were going in ways that I had not planned and I did not predetermine. My words were giving comfort and instruction. Me, barren as I was helping to lead a child into this world. And it was over before I knew it. And Mary lay her head against the hay, and she cradled this newborn baby. And the place where I was just transformed. No longer did I smell the smells of dampness and foulness and rejection of memory. No, now I smelled wood tones, warmth, a family and community and acceptance. No longer did I smell the smells of animals and their dung nearby, but now I was able to breathe in the aroma of wholeness. And then, as the light shone in that stable in the most unusual way, Mary lifted this baby and said, Jesus. His name is Jesus. Emmanuel, God with us. Yes, Yes, I thought, surely Yahweh is here, for I would not feel these feelings if Yahweh were not with us. And then Mary did the most extraordinary thing. She took this tiny baby and she reached out her frail arms and she said, Hannah, he's yours too, you know. He's yours too, Hannah. Will you receive him? And my arms, outside of my will, my arms stretched out, and I took this tiny baby, and I held this baby, this Jesus, and I said, yes, I will receive him. For young infant, somehow you have given me hope. You have released the memories of my past and the brokenness and the bareness of my soul. Yes. Yes. I will receive you. As time went on, Mary and Joseph stayed with us. Eli found Joseph a job as a carpenter, a trade. And then Eli found Joseph and Mary a place nearby that they might be able to rent for the days ahead. Oh, as many nights as we possibly could, we gathered. And they would tell their story. And I would tell my story of brokenness, now to healing and wholeness. And then there were others that came to share their story. Shepherds came. And now I was ready to offer the gift of true hospitality. Lowly shepherds knew they would be welcomed at our home. And then, sometime afterwards, kings, not of our understanding or of our knowledge, but kings came to offer gifts as though this child, this boy child, was truly the King of Kings. And all of this happened in spite of me saying, we don't have room. We just don't have room. And I wonder as I look out among you, have you said that as well? Has the busyness of your life, all of the things that you must do, the pain and the brokenness of your past, is this too a reason that you say, I don't have room for you? For I pray that in this moment, that you might reconsider, that you might know that to make room for the Christ child is to have peace and joy and hope and wholeness. Oh, I pray that you make room. Now I must go, for I have much to do. I now celebrate my gift of hospitality. I wait, looking out the window, for the next one that Yahweh might send me, that I might serve and I might love. Make room in your heart for Jesus. Shalom, shalom.